Welcome to the March Madness 21-day challenge that's coming up. So very quickly, I'm going to try to give you a few tips that are going to make this process a little bit easier. You're going to be overwhelmed at first because you're going to get the package, you're going to see all these little boxes, and you're going to say, how am I going to get all the food in here? Believe me, people that did it the last time, it took a couple of days, and for those of you that have done it can attest to that. But once you get the hang of it, it's really not complicated. And the goal that I want for each of you is to understand really how eating should take place. It's really about a combination of putting all these foods together and getting the right portions. I know these boxes look small, but you'd be surprised how much can fit in there. The first thing that's really important for your success is to plan. So I went to Costco today and I bought a bunch of stuffed sprouts. So I cut them up, put a bunch in here, tossed with some olive oil, grapeseed oil, salt and pepper, and I'm going to mix it together. I have my trays ready right here. I'm going to put them in the oven. I'm going to lay them out on the tray to roast some vegetables. Put them in the oven at 425 degrees for 20 minutes each side, and see, it shouldn't take more than 40-45 minutes depending on how many things you have and how much you like it roasted. With the peppers, when I cut them, I kept some of them nice and big so they're easy to roast, and then others I just cut tiny strips so that I have to eat fresh and raw throughout the week. What I'll do is I have containers of them so that they're in a big container, and I can easily make in advance, if I wanted to right now, create a 1 cup, which is equal to 1 green, okay? 1 green container is equal to 1 cup, and I'll be sending you out the equivalent measurements. You could either buy these fancy Ziploc containers that come pre-measured and fill them so that you can just have them ready to go, or you can just leave them into a larger container filled and pick as you go for the day, whatever it is that you want. So that's tip number 1, vegetables, roast in advance, and then also fresh for anything that you like. We love peppers in this house, so they're an easy go-to. The other thing, if you're a Costco person, they sell this really yummy salad that is kale and cabbage, Brussels sprouts with cranberries and pumpkin seeds. A whole entire bag, this is a whole bag, if you toss it and then you measure out what's equivalent to, sorry I'm running off screen for a second, this is a 2 cup, this is the 2 cup container, the Ziploc containers. I filled just beyond the 1 cup line, I just threw it in there, will equal, okay, write this down, so if you like that mixed kale, Asian mixed salad, I think it's called the Asian mixed salad, in the email that I send you that accompanies this video, it'll say it. This will equal 1 green, 1 orange, because it has the seeds in it and the cranberries. And with the dressing, I used 1 packet plus a little extra of the second packet, so that would be a little bit of your blue. You can't be so rigid on this plan. Nobody could live that rigidly, so just as a guideline, just know that. And it's a really yummy salad. I'm going to have that tonight for dinner. Serve that. The other thing that I mentioned in the email about snacks is something called deviled eggs. If you buy at Costco, or they already have these hard-boiled eggs that come in a pack, or you can boil hard-boiled eggs yourself, of course, but these are already peeled. Love them. You cut it lengthwise down the middle, take out the yolk, throw it away, take sriracha, just a little bit, I just take a little dab and just put it in there, okay? Sriracha is unlimited, mustard is unlimited on this, okay? And then you take a little bit of hummus, which I've already put back in the refrigerator, and it'll look like this. So we call these deviled eggs. So you see that? On the plan, 2 hard-boiled eggs equals 1 red container. 8 egg whites equals 1 red container. So if you took 4 hard-boiled eggs, took out the yolk, did this with the hummus, and put them into a container like I did here, and this is actually only 3 eggs. I had a container that could fit all 4. That would equal half of a red, half of a blue, and the sriracha doesn't count, okay? So deviled eggs, 4 eggs equals, and you take out the yolks, half of a red, half of a blue, hummus goes into the blue, and you're set. So if you make these in advance, super fast, put in the refrigerator, delicious snack, or even as a side, or even as a lunch. So just real quick, those tips I wanted to give you. Preparation is key to success. I know it seems very overwhelming at first. Believe me, it will get easier. The idea is for you to understand portions and the combination of foods. Eating them together is so key. Keeping it simple. I know we like lots of different things like casseroles and stuff. Seems easy, but it's really not great for our digestive system. Raw foods is the best, but of course, mixing it up. If you have the roasted vegetables, you can throw it on a salad. You can have them as a side. You can put it into a wrap with some protein. There's like tons of things you can do. So that's why I always suggest roasted vegetables every week, raw vegetables every week, cut up your fruits. So these are just some simple tips. Hopefully it helps you. If there's ever a question, post it on the Facebook page, because if you have that question, somebody else will too. And so I want to be able to answer, and if anybody else has an answer, please feel free. If there isn't an answer, I will get you one. I have a lot of resources that I can tap into, so I will certainly get you an answer. Other than that, really enjoy the process. Enjoy being prepared and noticing how much extra time hopefully you have during the week. If you are out and about, just visualize what these containers look like. I'm going to send you that cheat sheet, what the equivalent is. The last thing I want to say, and to be candid, this is probably the worst part of this plan, is the tracking of making sure that you're eating these containers every day. And I know that sounds silly, but if you truly want to lose weight or feel good, you have to eat these containers. By the end of the day, if you don't have them, you're going to feel tired. You're going to wind up binging. You're not going to make great choices. So it's really important that you try to eat as much as you can of the containers throughout the day, at least a little bit of everything. It's going to make a huge difference in this program and the success that you have. In order to keep track of it, I am tracking every day for an app. They've had them. They go off and on. I'm not sure what's happening there, but hopefully they'll come back with one soon. But until then, there is a way, if you have an iPhone, to get around not having to tally the tally sheets that come in the book. So make copies of those if you don't have access to an electronic device to keep track of these things. So until then, make copies, and then use the tick marks if you're going to be diligent like that. If paper is not your style, then I have a way, if you have an iPhone, to use something called reminders on it. It's not ideal, but it is so much better than trying to keep track of everything. And the goal is, as you have your container, you check it off. So at the end of the day, when it's dinner time, you come home, you say, oh my gosh, I need to get a yellow in, or I need to get a blue in. It's really easy for you to visualize that. And even if you can't get all of them in, at least getting something from each of those containers is better than nothing. So that would be my goal for you. I really want to make sure that you're trying to get at least the majority of these containers in a day. So with that, know that this is a process for all of us. No question is a silly question. It's the only one that's not asked that's silly. And if I can be a resource, that's what I'm here for. So any questions, post on the Facebook page. But until then, thanks so much, and let's go get them.